You know what is not talked about enough within the working world, the 9 to 5 world, is that a lot of people talk about pretty girl privilege, right? But let me tell you something that is just as prevalent as pretty girl privilege, and it is ugly girl privilege.
This lady's video has triggered very many people to comment or react on her video. And I think the reason as to why very many people have come out to say what they're saying is the fact that she included ugly girl privilege. Most of us have always heard about pretty girl privilege, the demerits and merits that come with it, and all that. But right now, what is trending, I think from the month of November entering December, is the fact that she brought in the ugly girl privilege, and then she goes ahead to explain how her being beautiful, or the most beautiful person at her workplace, she was always targeted. Yeah, the video is so long, I'm going to just cut it short and then we continue.
What I mean by ugly girl privilege, I mean as in being that you are aware that you're unattractive and you know that you're unattractive, but you have to be good at something. I feel like ugly girl privilege on TikTok, they lean in more of the positive side, but nobody talks about the negative side of pretty girl privilege. And it is just as prevalent as pretty girl privilege. Ugly girl privilege, the dark side of it is just as prevalent as pretty girl privilege. And the shit is equivalent in witchcraft. I'm telling you, it works like a charm. I've seen it happen so many times, especially in corporate America. What I mean by that is, let's say you the only, and sometimes include myself, we've been in those situations where you're the only girl who's attractive in the room, right? Of course, being that you're unattractive and you have women who are highly unattractive and who are highly insecure, they're not going to like you. So what they'll do is create a false narrative in their head. I can't say I don't like you because you're beautiful. I can't say I don't like you because you look better than me. I can't say that. So let me create a false narrative in my head, and as if we're beefing, or as if you've done something to me, even though you don't talk to me, because I feel like you think you're better than me. Let me go lie on you and tell a manager something real quick. When it comes to ugly girl privilege, when a lot of women know they're unattractive, they lean, and when they're insecure, they lean on a really, really dark side. And a lot of them become really great liars and manipulators. I don't care if she's white, black, light skin, brown skin, dark skin, Hispanic, Asian. When it comes to ugly girl privilege, and when they cry in their office with your manager, it's just as strong as white women tears in America. And that shit works.
There is no such thing as ugly privilege. Like, it's nothing beneficial of people excluding all this stuff because of the way you look. Y'all keep saying ugly privilege exists. There's no benefits to being ugly in a world where beauty is everything. I need y'all to understand that. Like, I was bullied. I know how cruel people can be when they do not find you attractive. They treat you like shit, especially the men and the women. Like, women will look down on you, and the men will literally just be mean to you for no reason. Like, literally just extra mean. And if that's the case, if y'all had a choice right now, would you rather be ugly and have so quote unquote ugly privilege, or would you be pretty and have pretty privilege?
Pretty privilege is a thing, but sometimes a motherfucker can be so ugly that you make it. So don't be shy. If you ugly, get up here and record, post some content. Cause you talking about like pretty, ugly, in between, it don't matter, bro. Your destiny is your motherfucking destiny. Pretty privilege is a thing, yes. Ugly privilege is a thing as well. The ugly mother going viral as well. And if this post go viral, I'm gonna have a couple questions. Ugly is still pretty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder at the end of the day. Nobody really ugly. So therefore, everybody has a chance.
I keep saying all the discourse around pretty privilege versus ugly privilege. Let me tell you a privilege that'll get you any motherfucking where. Funny privilege. Learn how to tell a joke. See, that's you hoes' problem. You hoes too busy worried about how you looking, who gonna judge you and all that you ain't got no personality. But see, you walk in the room, you tell a joke, don't nobody give a fuck how you look, cause bitch, now you cool as you know what I'm saying? Funny privilege got me a long way. Now I'm little son. That's big bro. Big bro want me to come around with him and do all this type of shit. And we ain't got fuck. Ain't no pressure on me to be cute or all that, nothing like that, because I'm funny. He just want me around because I'm funny. Serious. You go to the bar, you sitting there worried about, oh, nobody's gonna buy me a drink because they think I'm ugly, or you too pretty so you don't want nobody bothering you. Girl, tell a joke. Laugh that wallet right at that nigga pants. Seriously. Like, I don't know. Funny privilege just always been my way. I don't give a what you think I look like. Shit, it'd have been dudes I thought was way out of my league. Like, I probably would never talk to you. But shit, I'm funny. We cool. We hanging out. Or whatever. We get high. It don't matter what I look like. You want to fuck me, though. Because I'm cool. This ass fat.
Real quick. When it comes to ugly girl privilege, when a lot of women know they're unattractive, they lean, and when they're insecure, they lean on a really, really dark side. And a lot of them become really great liars and manipulators.
If y'all want to go see the whole entirety of that video, y'all can go watch it because it's a long video about ugly girl privilege, which is really crazy. Being the most attractive in the room, ugly girls in the workplace being vindictive because they can't just say they're mad at you because you're pretty. She's saying ugly girl privilege because you don't have to deal with men harassing you and hollering at you and da-da-da-da. And this is no tea, no shade, but most of the women in the comments, including this lady, pretty women, average women. And I'm just going to be honest about that. And this is not me speaking rudely because I feel like most women, most of us are average. We are averagely beautiful. Most of us are not Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, you know what I mean? So this idea and concept that y'all walk in a room and people are just vindictive towards you just because you're just so attractive, it just seems crazy. And this idea that women that you don't see as attractive just don't deal with harassment from men and stuff like that is a dangerous concept, and it's not true. This is not me saying that women can't be jealous of pretty or other beautiful women. It happens, but I've had the same type of situations happen with women that I thought were very attractive. If you are insecure as a woman, if you lack confidence, you will also portray bad traits. In fact, I've had a worse experience with women who were extremely attractive and I would deem as people who had, you know, the body, the face, the looks, and they deal with so much insecurity. There is no like ugly privilege.
So apparently ugly privilege exists. And there's this woman on here and her video has like almost 1 million views. And in the video, she's talking about how ugly women have a different kind of privilege than pretty women do. And it's where ugly women can weaponize their ugliness in order to gain the sympathy from people because they feel so bad for the ugly woman that they just believe whatever that woman says, right? She says that people in the workplace, in public, or online sympathize with ugly women whenever they try to take down a pretty woman that they disagree with or that they don't like. Simply because these people have so much empathy for ugly women that they're willing to cancel or punish a beautiful woman. And the idea that kind of thinking can only come when you're so delusional and out of touch with reality, because we live in a society that is extremely mean to ugly people overall, but especially ugly women. And in her video, it's so crazy because she tries to make it seem like ugly women are just coming together, forming the ugly hoe Avengers and trying to gang up on beautiful women for no reason. And the whole line of thinking just completely breaks down when you realize that pretty women be mean as hell too. Pretty women weaponize their prettiness in order to take down ugly women that they disagree with. Same thing can happen on both sides. So it's just a ridiculous ass statement to say. Meanness and evilness is not contained to a certain way of like looking, right? And there's a real prejudice towards ugly people in society, and I'm a victim to it, and you're a victim to it. Even ugly people are victims to it. They make predetermined assumptions about people based on the way that they look and based on the way that they present themselves, right? And it's up to all of us to break down that way of thinking, because it's just wrong. You shouldn't be thinking like that. You should not be judging people based off of their looks, based off of your level of attraction to them, I guess, in a way. So to say that an ugly woman can weaponize her ugliness in a way that benefits her in a society that is extremely vain is just ridiculous.
Look, twin, we ugly. But nah, in all seriousness, I've seen this conversation happening the entire time. I'm sorry for the intro. I've seen this conversation happening for about a week or 2 weeks now about ugly privilege, pretty privilege, right? And I wanted to talk about the ugly privilege part because I don't think this is necessarily a privilege, but I'm going to speak from my experience. Now, growing up, Just listen to me here. Growing up, I was the dude that they were like, ew, you know what I mean right now, okay? Don't make me relive this. But one thing I will say is that being in that role of so-called ugly made you learn a lot of things. You learn how people naturally are, how mean people could be. And then you got the comparison when you saw somebody who they deemed attractive, how they would get away with stuff. How they could be, let's say we're in school, they could just be the person creating the most insane disruption in the class. And it's like they're invisible. You cough, detention. So I don't think it's a privilege, but it did give you a level of awareness to guard yourself and be really, really, really careful with how you interact with people. Now for the people who are pretty, yes, as you grow up and you start to say no to certain people, advance and the way they approach you, then you start to notice the same thing because they look at you like, oh, you think you're all that. So I would say when you're not attractive early, you get a great start on seeing how life really is, how people are really going to treat you. When you're pretty, you kind of get a nice damper, a nice like, oh, you're pretty, until they want something out of you. So I don't know if that counts as an actual privilege. I feel like it just gives you a great level of awareness.
Oh my god, ugly privilege, ugly privilege. You know, ugly people, they just don't have to deal with, harassment and assault, and they don't have to worry about being trafficked.
Sometimes it is not our turn to talk. Quiet coyote. Because what the mean? Literal animals get raped. Animals. Ugly people have and will be raped and assaulted. Abusers don't only go after looks. A lot of times, they go after vulnerableness. Vulnerability, that's the word. Hey, I'm the prime example of this. I was abused by a guy who knew I was ugly and weird, so people were less likely to believe me when I came out about him abusing me.
I want to add my 2 thoughts in this whole ugliness versus prettiness conversation, right? As someone who was an ugly duckling that graduated into a beautiful swan, I can tell you all, my experience has not been that much better than when I was being ridiculed and bullied for being ugly and fat. It's not. If y'all are basing pretty privilege off of compliments and getting into a few spots for free and having men buy you dinner or buy you a drink, some sort of pretty privilege, no. Most people on here that are talking about pretty privilege aren't even experiencing pretty privilege. That's not what that is. That's just men lusting after you. As a woman, you are ridiculed for being ugly or being pretty. You are ridiculed for being fat or being skinny. You are ridiculed for being a stay-at-home mom or a working woman. You are ridiculed for being old. You are ridiculed for being young. Being a woman in American society, you're never winning. That is how they have the system structured. There's always pros and cons to everything, y'all. You could think that someone is experiencing pretty privilege, and they very well might be. They very well might not have a care in the world. They're getting things paid off left and right. Cool. But at the end of the day, most men don't respect pretty women. Most men want to just fuck pretty women. Most women are jealous of pretty women, so they sabotage pretty women. So y'all over here battling, oh, I'm ugly. First of all, that's another issue that I have with this whole conversation, because you should never be claiming something that you're not proud of. You're saying that you're ugly, so therefore your energy is gonna ooze ugliness if you continuously say that. So there's something attractive about you that you're missing out on. Maybe you're not the most attractive physically in the face. That's not the end all be all. And I know everybody's gonna be in the comments saying, oh, it's easy for you to say that because you're conventionally attractive. There was a point in time that I wasn't. There was a point in time when I wasn't. I was being made fun of. I was being ridiculed. And quite frankly, my body still ain't all that. I got a stomach. So hell, I still deal with the whole chubby, chunky comment sometimes. You gotta embrace yourself. Who gives a fuck what people think? For real?
These people that be calling themselves ugly be kind of throwing me off, because I don't really feel like nobody ugly. Like, even if I'm not personally attracted to you, even if I'm not trying to date you, like, I can, like, you got some pretty eyes. Like I can see beauty in everybody. It make me feel crazy. Because then you tell them that you don't think that they're ugly, and they come at you almost trying to gaslight you and what you think. Well, that don't change how society sees me. I'm part of society. Why are you telling me? I wouldn't even see you if I was walking down the street. I don't know who you are. You don't know me. Like, why are we talking about our looks to each other? You come on here like you making some political statement like I'm ugly. Okay, thank you. I see it. You're reclaiming it. You're taking a stand. You're owning how society sees you and reclaiming the word, I guess. But other people still don't think that way about you. So what do you want us to do? You want us to say, yeah, it's powerful that you claim the position that society has placed you in. I don't understand. Like, maybe you don't need to launch it off with talking about yourself because you don't even really matter that much. Talk about how it impacts people as a whole. But if the first thing you say is, I'm ugly, people are going to be like, no, I see something cute in you. Like, because it comes off as sad. It doesn't come off as power at all. It just comes off as, I see myself the way other people see me. Or I claim what other people see. Who cares what other people think? Because if you really want to dedicate yourself to this, go and get you a degree and study this and go and talk at universities. But coming on social media and telling people you ugly, that don't really feel all that powerful to me. We can all own what people think about us and still also push back at it. You coming on the internet telling everybody what other people already think about you, I don't care. I don't care if people think you're ugly. I don't think that. I ain't gonna lie, it actually kind of feels dangerous to me because if you're starting to call yourself ugly based off of how society sees you, then that means you can call other people ugly.
Wherever there's women's business, you're always going to find a fucking man there when it doesn't even include them. I just seen a man make a video in response to the video that's going viral and how women that have ugly privilege, they exploit it and they use it for their advantage. And pretty much the man was talking about how it's absolutely ridiculous to say that ugly people have privilege because there's no way that you can be ugly and you can have a privilege and you could exploit it or use it to your benefit. You want to know who has the most ugly privilege out of everybody? Men. Men have the most ugly privilege that you could absolutely see. Because women have been required under patriarchy to coddle the feelings and egos of men, they don't understand that a lot of the things that they receive from women is out of pity because they're unattractive. And men know this because men are constantly trying to convince women to give them a chance. Trying to tell women, oh, well, your type is he. What if he's not the man that you would be attracted to physically, right? What if he doesn't fit into your type? That's using ugly privilege. I mean, we literally have women on the internet saying that they need to go find a man that's medium ugly. If that's not ugly privilege, I don't know what the fuck is. And to be quite honest, the man that made this video is not attractive, which is how I know that he's projecting. It's how I know that he's projecting.
We might as well spend the entire day listening to people's reactions of ugly girl privilege, who is pretty, who is ugly, being medium, the advantages, and those that are coming out to say that I am ugly. Why do you deprecate yourself? I understand that sometimes society can come against you, but I don't think that the answer to it is you coming out to present yourself as one. I think there's a silver lining to everything. Whether you're pretty, you're super pretty, you feel ugly, there's a silver lining. There's an advantage and a disadvantage. And I don't think that you should be a part of what should present yourself negatively. You have to be okay with people not seeing you pretty. You have to be okay with people not seeing you a certain way. But you have to stand up for yourself and look confident and be the person that you ought to be or you want to be. Otherwise, if you give an ear to society and you allow society to frame you or to give you an image that you will carry for the rest of your life, then I think it will all come back to you as a person. Otherwise, like I said, there's a silver lining to everything and everyone in this world. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Until next time, see you. Bye-bye.